Welcome back, fellow scrubs. This is Mark D. Wiz. It's Monday, so we're working on Pocket Fighter EX. It's a community-based game. It's not affiliated with Capcom or SNK. It's a free fan game by the fans for the fans. Trying to get my arm brace on here. I forgot about it. I'm like, oh, the countdown's almost done. Gotta get it fitted on. Otherwise, I'm in for a world of fun. And by fun, I mean pain. I think that works. I think we're okay. So today, we're going to be working on some pixel art stuff. And we're going to be focusing on the Kakko Fubatsu. So, oh, I forgot my spot. There's my spot. So, if you played Street Fighter V, which I assume most of you have or know much about it, you know that there is the Kakko Fubatsu, which is basically a parry super, or not super, but a parry ability. And in Pocket in Pocket Fighter EX, we've turned it into a super, essentially. In there. And they get stunned, and you can do a whole nice combo. The big difference between fives and this one is that the crumple period is much longer, so you can pretty much get off anything you really want to. Where in Street Fighter V, you kind of just get a Shoryuken maybe, and that's about it. Here, you can get quite a bit. So, what's the problem with it? Well, the problem is that it doesn't look very visually interesting. I kind of slapdash together a little circle effect that goes behind Ryu when he parries something, and that's pretty much it. And it doesn't... I guess it's reminiscent of the Kakko Fubatsu from Street Fighter V, but it's not nearly as interesting or grandiose, I suppose, as it should be. And it's been on kind of the back burner for a while to do something about that, and we're going to actually do something about that. So I've actually already started working on it a little. If you're in the Discord, you might have seen some of it here. So that's what I've got so far. I'm pretty satisfied with the first portion of the animation. Like with this part, turns into a big kind of flash, and then it emanates out. The outer part, I'm probably pretty much done with. I think that looks pretty good. The inner part, I just kind of winged for now, just to get something in there. And that's pretty much how it works. Let me pull up, I believe I got footage here that I took to reference. So, let's see. That is not it. That's the raw. I got the raw footage. What did I do? Hold on. What did I do with the other one? Let me find out. I think I know where it is. I think I'll put it in the render. This is for Street Fighter V. Yeah, here it is. Cool. Okay, got it. So I took footage of everything that occurs here. So here's the first part. We already have this part. Pocket did a wonderful job creating that effect and animation, and you see that here already, of course. I'm going to put Ryu in its default color. Make it a little, not easier to see necessarily, but a little more clear in our comparison. So we've got that animation. That one's done. It's the next part. So we have also, of course, this part of the animation. You can see that here. It's a little slow, or it's a little fast. So you do get that pose, and then it goes into that, and obviously. So Pocket did all that. God bless him. And then it's the part here. This is the one I'm talking about. So here's where I started with that small effect. Here. Somewhat mirrors this. Oh, I can get it over here. With the kind of like little, I don't know, sort of a halo around it, but you get the center. And then the next frame, it flashes out. Oh, I think it's broken. Yeah, great. Oh, boom. And then it goes really bright. So that's where I've got, you put black before a very light thing and it makes it actually flash brighter in people's eyes. So I go from here to black to this, and that's essentially that. This effect here is pretty much going to be covered by the Parry Spark that's already in game. And then from there you see there's this sort of outward, you know, expanding shockwave. And that's what I've got here. Goes from here to here. And then the inside, sort of reminiscent of this, but it's just very nebulously drawn at the moment. There's not too much here. I think it should look kind of like how this looks like an energy shield, like a force field. It's kind of what I want to do with it. And then it'll dissipate on its own. Although mine holds the Parry Pose quite much longer, the effect itself is not going to be necessarily very long. And then it goes from here, and then it's just going to have to dissipate in some manner. And that's pretty much it. And also the dust on the ground, we don't have that in game either. So the first thing I actually want to do, just to kind of see how it looks in game and get a feel at this stage what for a prototype of this, see kind of how it looks in game, and then we can go from there to kind of figure out, hey, what should we do with going forward. I'm gonna take out the ground, Ryu, and the dust, and if I go through this and I do export sprite sheet, let's see. Do we want to skip blanks, merge duplicates, and ignore and empty? Oh, that looks alright. Okay. And then export. Wherever that went. Guess I didn't really look. It went in Ryu animations. Okay. That's a good spot for it. Oh, yes. Okay, and this is really pretty much just going to be an assembly job here. Gotta put everything in a decent range from each other. And this part's gonna be a little tougher. Probably gonna have to just increase this. Put it under. So let's take a look. How many? There are 2 pixels between those. Okay, that's the right distance. Can do 1 from the edge, but it must be 2 from each other. And oh no, this one is obviously going to be larger. Would maybe want to put it up here, but I don't know how big it's going to be in the end, so part of me wants to just put this down here. And for right now, it doesn't matter too much, because we may rearrange these as we see fit later. So there, 1, 2. And we down here. Not going to be too hung up on the sizing just yet, because these are going to change. And again, this will just give us an idea of how it looks in game, and if we're even on the right track at all. Oh, Jesus, did I get like cut off? How did that cut off? Alright, hold on. Yeah, fix that. Look at that, cut off. Yeah. Oops. Make sure this all looks lined up correctly. Yeah, okay. That's strange. So, in this animation here, it is not cut off here. I wonder how that happened. Well, that's fine. That's okay. I think we'll have to give it a better name than that. Hey, Snorways, what's up? Doing Kakko Fubatsu stuff. I'm gonna call it Kakko Fubatsu Shield. I mean, it is like an energy shield, right? I think that'll be the appropriate way to display it. Actually, we did forget something. On this one here, I need a new layer. I'm gonna say effects anchor. What I'm going to do is put a dot here. This is an even bit, and that's okay. So we'll put the dot here, and we'll chain it to everything else. And this gives us kind of a center point to work with here. Apparently does not want to. Like, there we go. Nope, wait, what? That's weird. Why did it link like that? There we go. Link them all. I'll have to re-export it now, but that's okay. But that gives me an alignment to work with, so I know where to put the anchor point on each sprite. And this is fine. We can just re-export this under the same conditions. Yeah, and then we'll just apply that to here. So we've got this one. We're going to kind of just copy and paste over the sprites from one to another, because these ones again have the anchor on them, and we'll take this anchor off at. I got Street Fighter V last Thursday, and I've been playing a lot. Have you played? Yes, I actually played Street Fighter V since the first season. I fell off somewhere second season-ish. I played it casually since then. Nothing too rigorously or seriously. I admit that it is better now than it has been, but I'm still not completely satisfied with the game, so I don't feel like pumping a tremendous amount of hours into it. I think it's a fair take. I thought that the first season showed promise, and I didn't quite like all the changes of the second season. Quite the opposite. A lot of them were headed in the wrong direction, so I'm like, maybe I don't want to play this anymore. It's gotten a lot more crazy since then, since they've added some of the new V-triggers. Oh yeah, I was in the beta too, you're right. You're right. Jeez, I forgot about that. The beta was nice. I liked the beta, and the release was alright. And then it just kind of, for me, it went downhill there. And then, you know, a combination between some of the weirder character redesigns and all that, it just didn't click with me. You can catch me in Third Strike though. Well, this move's already been there. The Kakko Fubatsu. It just didn't look all that pretty. So I've been trying to make it look prettier. And so I would say that this animation is at most half complete. Oh, let me get... I have to actually turn on Ryu here. What is it, Dust 3? dust screen. So I wanted to make it look more like its in-game version. So I've been working on that. The original effects that we have in-game currently are just this. And they're alright, but they're kind of boring and they're not completely representative of how it looks in the game. Oh no. Where are these freaking bots coming from out of the woodwork? Look, if I didn't click it the first time, you think I'm gonna click it the fucking 8th time that it's come through? Anyway, I'm a little proud of my shockwave here. I think the shockwave looks quite nice. I think so far it's actually not terrible. But the inner portion is just kind of a rough. We need to make that a lot better, and I'm not sure exactly how to render that yet. But I think my shockwave's quite nice. Yeah, ban that motherfucker. I know it's just a bot, but it's sometimes satisfying, right? Get him. Leave no survivors. I'm proud of my shockwave. I did my shockwave on my own. I think I'm quite proud of it. I think it's pretty nice. The inner part, I hadn't put too much into that part yet. But I want to see how it looks in game to give it get an idea of whether or not I'm on the right track with it. So let's go to reuse sprites, reorganize the windows a little here, get a little more viewing space. Every time you join, they're right behind you. Yeah, really, right? Ryu Kakko Fubatsu shield. Okay, so there's gonna be multiple sprites. Full rect, no physics. Let's open this up a little, and we'll close that one a little. No filter. No compression. And we'll slice them up. So first one on top. So we want to pick down here, we want to pick pixels for our thing. That one was easy because it was right in the center already. And that one was 2, looks like it's already aligned. That one 2. And then when we get to these are not perfect circles by any means. Oh. Trim and that down there. And that's where this anchor comes in real handy. You can see the dot, you're like, oh yeah, okay, goes right here. And that's it. Oh, shh. I hit revert. Now I gotta do it all over again. Oh my god. Thankfully, some of them are easy. They're already aligned with the perfect circles. Or at least they're even. I'm not sure they're exactly perfect circles, but their dimensions are divisible by 2. Oh, apply this time instead of revert. Flex those effects muscles. Hey, I'm trying. I'm a little proud of this one. I think it's not bad. Okay, and now I think the effect is its own thing. Yeah. And the reason it's separate from Ryu, it's not animated on Ryu himself, is because the effect has to last between the hit stop of Ryu and the other character. The truth is, I'm actually doing a little bit of smoke and mirrors with the hit stop on this thing, but I'll explain that in a little bit. Kakko. Oh no, it's Kakko instead of Kakko? Okay, whatever. You know what? The computer doesn't care if it's typed correctly. It's fine. It's alright. It's fine. Set that. I've been changing the material to one that I made. That way, if I ever have to change all the sprites in the game to different material for shader purpose or something, I can do it all at once. You can use the sprites default, but it's not a material that you have access to manipulate if you need to. I've just all been changing it to one I called Sprite, which is just a duplicate of the default sprite. Oh my god, the dogs are going nuts out there. I don't know if you can hear it or not. It's probably something. You know what? It's probably coyotes. They were here last night. That's the coyotes. Okay. All this looks okay. So we want to bring up the animation timeline. And this is just what was here before, as you can see. And we're just going to completely erase that. And we're going to do our own thing. So we're going to start with this. Probably don't want the black for more than one frame, unless it gets cut out by the flickering. And we've got that. I'm just laying them out roughly here. Okay, so I've been told that the farther elements are going to have to linger more. So from here to here is fine. Like this being quick is fine, but this is going to have to last longer. And then this part's going to have to last even longer. As stuff gets residual. Essentially, I mean, that's the idea, I suppose. Kind of hard to see here. Is this the same sprite, right? I'm going to change this to a null. Or none. And then what I'm going to do is put one all the way out here. And then we can kind of just see how it is. Not terrible. Whereas you don't see the flicker either, and that may influence how it looks in game. But I don't think it's too bad. I think maybe the only issue is that this should last longer, perhaps. But they're tied together as one frame here. So I'm trying to do the inner and the outer circle, might have different timing here. It might be something that we want to separate at some point. I hope it doesn't look too fancy. If it looks too fancy, then it's not going to fit with the rest of the game. Well, let's take a look. Alright, so that's alright. Let's see how that actually works. We may have to do a little bit of timing adjustments. Depends what you're after. The inner circle is the primary read. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. That's supposed to look like a shield. And the outer effect is supposed to look like it's just something around Ryu that's a side effect of everything else that's going on. Just the amount of force from the inner shield. Oh, it's not in front of him. That's correct, because the old effect was not in front. It was behind. So we do want to open this and say that this is an over effect now, as it's designed to be. Hey, it looks pretty cool actually. It doesn't look too invasive. Let's look at it in slow-mo. Punch. Nope. Down, back. Punch. There we go. Cool. and we'll get Terry to do something. Okay, that actually looks pretty neat. I think so too. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Ooh. Oh! Get him! I love the art style. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Retromoy, for Retromoy. I'm sorry, I'm a little slow today. I'm not feeling too great. If you were here on Sunday, you'll know I'm not feeling all that great. That combo was sick. Well, thank you. Yeah, you can do a lot when you have Kakko Fubatsu prepped. Oh, I didn't link that properly. Oh, I did it too late or too early. Now that's interesting. The effect actually lasts long enough where it passes the vulnerability period and Ryu actually gets knocked out of it. Let's look at the hitboxes where they line up. Because we'll see where the counter hitbox is. This yellow is actually what catches the attack. I can't necessarily say I'm feeling that much better than last night. I think it's only really like a frame off of where the active looks like it's active. I think that, and that's even counting with the flicker. This would come in one. I hate to decrease the distance here because you need that lingering outer effect. But this may look a little better. You only get 10 frames or so of... Is it possible to leave the outer circle if the move isn't... Leave out the outer circle if the move isn't confirmed? Maybe? I believe so. I kind of figured that, like, just putting up the shield activates the effect. I wasn't sure if I was comfortable with the effect only happening if you caught something. Now in 5, that's absolutely what happens. If you whiff it, you get you just get this. He just does this. But I have two problems with that, and it's because it's a different situation here. One, it doesn't look very interesting. And see how the effect doesn't happen until he actually hits it, right? Yeah. So the difference in how it works here is that in Street Fighter V, once you activate Kakko Fubatsu, once you charge it, kind of like doing this part, you can use it until your meter runs out. Like it's a V trigger. It's kind of almost like Power Max here. You've got the meter and you can keep using it over and over and over and over and over. And that's fine. But the reward's not very high. The most you really get out of it is you get like a Shoryuken. And sure, okay. For the amount of damage it does, whatever. That would have been appropriate. But we don't have that. We have this. You get a lot of damage off of it. So it's a one-time use. So my fear was that if there was almost no effect on it, when you did it and you whiffed it, that it's possible that one, it doesn't look like you really did much. It doesn't look like you attempted a big move. And it also doesn't necessarily register with the opponent that you did something like that. However, the one possible exception here would be because I haven't added a dust effect on the bottom. So maybe with the dust effect, it would look grandiose enough? Yeah, chat's got the answer. So the question is, how many characters do you plan on adding to the roster? At least for the initial roster, it'll be 8 plus 1 secret. And then from there, who knows? If we can get that far, God willing, then we'll attempt to do more. I'm trying to keep my head on the first set here. But yeah, maybe with the dust under him, that it might look like he attempted something big. Because even if you don't have the effect here, I'm trying to think if there's an easy way to disable it. Counter punch crumple. Oh, we don't need this flag anymore then. Yeah, we don't need this flag anymore. Let's eliminate that flag. We've got something else out here anyway that keeps it going. I think the effect is here. No, that's loading hitboxes. Oh, this is the second part of the animation with the actual punch. But I'm gonna remove that. Wait, what? Oh, I removed just the key. Counter super special, I think that's it. Yeah. So here it is. It does have a super trail behind it, so maybe that and the dust cloud might be enough. Yeah, welcome. I was gonna say, I didn't recognize your name. I figured you were new. That's fine, the more the merrier. Because it has the super thing on it, maybe that's enough, along with the dust. And then maybe the effect only happens, and we can program that. We can program it as a hit spark, so it only happens when you catch something. So I think I want to try that. I think you're right, especially with the outer shockwave. It's almost as if something hit the shield and it showed that. And without any sort of impact, it looks a little strange to perhaps have occurred. So let's see. All I did with this dust part, or this dust effect, is I just scaled it. And to be honest, it may not even be scaled enough. Makes me wonder. Oh, there's a dog. Makes me wonder if I can just do. I could just make a dust effect that's scaled. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, right? Make it a little bigger. Ground dust, large and small. I think those are the footsteps. And like the Shoryuken. Dust landing, that's the one. So we're gonna want a copy of this. So we bring it here. And we want, hello, what do you want, doggy? Doggy's here. We want to scale it, right? So let's say like 3x, something like that. Oh, that's way too big. 2x maybe. Yeah, and then we want to resave this. I'm going to say it's 2x. And we want to resave this now as a new effect. We're going to say prefab variant. So it's copying off of the original, but it's only got a couple modified properties, such as that. 1.5 to 2. Well, not based on this. This has already been stretched, but I'm stretching from the original now. So it's hard to tell without seeing it in game. What the value might actually be. So that's under fighter. Okay, so now I need to do a new object pool. So I've created an object pooling system. So this is dust. I should say dust ring ground. It's probably the better term for this. FX pool, and let's just drag it. Maximum pool size 1. That's 4. Yeah, that's fine. 4 is fine. Expand the pool if it's not enough. Do post an error if it does happen to do that. Then object spawn preset. And so this will be dust ring ground effects. I should say 2x. Spawn. I'm sorry, 2x should be before the effects here. Let me correct all that. And that just takes a pooled object with that, and we're gonna kind of take the this one says large scale. Did I already have a scaled one? I guess, oh, I had, it was a 2x2. That's fine. We'll keep the new variant we made 2x1. I wonder what I use that for, if anything. We're looking at the original pool. Where's the spawn? I bet it's not here. I bet the spawn call is under common. And it's gonna be like knockdown dust or something. Grab block armor, counter. Heavy attack. Hit push knockdown slam. No, that's not the same. Parry spawn. What's it? Is it in here? Or is it done? Knockdown dust. Here it is. Okay. Okay, it was in yet another folder. Okay, so we just want to copy these settings here. So none, spawner position, spawner parent. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really need any rotation or anything. Okay, that's fair enough. Oh, I see. This is all the way up in fighters, common effects. Yeah, this is quite unorganized at this point. I just didn't take like the day or two to rearrange everything. Of course, I always have different ideas on how to organize stuff better as I go along, and then sometimes I start following that, and then it's half and half now. So where was that? Dust landing, right? Okay, none. Spawner parent. Okay, it looks like that's the default configuration. And that's alright. That should be okay. So, now we have to go back into the game. And go to the counter super special. Come on, zoom in here. Thankfully they distanced these. These used to be incredibly hard to click on. So here is the... Apparently it has a dust component? Jeez, it does. I didn't even notice it. Come on. Oh yeah, it does. It has the has the Shoryuken dust. But we don't need that one anymore. We got the new one. So spends the Kakko Fubatsu point. Here is the shield effect. So we're gonna remove that for now. And I guess just for now we'll put it right here. So spawn pulled object from preset. Is that what it is? We said ring dust ring, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, jeez, okay. Ooh, that's big. I feel like it shouldn't be until here. Yeah, that looks better too. I don't think it has quite the urgent push out from the center that we're accustomed to here. I think it needs to be retimed. Which means we basically are making our own additional dust ring here. Let's see, what? Is it here? Let's just separate that off into its own stuff. So, dust ring ground large. Oh, we'll stop this. Dust landing. We're going to copy this. And, well, we might as well copy the texture and all that too. We're going to have to create our own copy of the prefab here. We can... Yeah, I'm going to just do this. And I'm going to copy original. So we've got a complete copy. It's not a variant of the other one. So dust ring ground large flex. Just call it large. Large. Last frame needs to linger a bit longer and yes, slower spread speed. Slower spread speed? I figured that the last, yeah, I figured it has to linger a little, but I figured these frames would go by faster, and then these frames would go by slower? Slower speed of spread? I figured these would go really fast, and then this would linger at the end. It's like a big push and then it just loses all its momentum as it falls out. Okay, so this animator set to none, and then when we create a new one, it will create a new file and a new controller for us. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was right. I was on the right track then. Okay, gotcha. Oh, dust. All dust. 0, 1, 2. It is recording, right? Why didn't it pick it up? Oh. Wait. Well, what was I editing then? Okay, hold on. I think I might have messed up this one here. No, that one's okay. What one did I mess up then? Oh, you know, I bet I messed that one up. Oh, open this. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, that's what happened. So we want to put that controller in. Here we go. Okay. Just landing. Oh, I see. That's why I got the weird name here. So let's rename that. And that's okay to rename it. I got that one. I'm gonna just put the frames in. We'll care about timing in a minute. And then, no what? Okay. And I also have 2x in there. So you can see it right. Now we'll redraw this, you know, eventually, but we want to make sure that it looks okay first. Sometimes it helps to just put a null at the end. I have a feeling that's too slow. And the timeline, God, it doesn't look it, but it really does feel slow. It still feels slow. At least it spreads quickly. I suppose that's alright. And it's not flickering yet, too. You won't see the flicker here in the preview. Okay, we'll see how it looks. Okay, and now that we have that, let's also change the sprite default to sprite. We're going to change the spawn pool using this prefab instead, and then everything else should be linked up correctly at this point. Oh, that's much better. I almost wonder if it's too big. Maybe disappears a little fast as well. Oh, that's why we can just kind of mess with it. Store that one frame. Oh, that works pretty good. It's got the last on our frame though. Oh, that's better. Yeah, fine. Oh, I didn't have the meter for it. There. So the question is, does this look like a clear indication, you know, Ryu's out here and he's doing stuff and he does this? Is it a clear indication that, one, that he used it, he attempted a big move and failed, and whether or not the enemy can see that and the player can see that? Now it's not set, the other effect is not set to be a hit spark yet, but it will be once we make that connection. I think the dust helps sell it in the way that I'm hoping it does. Along with, you know, you do get the super effect background. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it actually does work. The dust goes by so fast. I'm actually wondering if does it go under the shadow at all? I'd like to see it in slow-mo, just to see what it looks like. Oh, no, it doesn't. It looks a little off, though. The first frame, at least. It doesn't look like it's under him in the way that I expect it to be. That can be more of an alignment issue than anything. Looks alright in motion, though. Again, we're gonna redraw it, but... yeah. Okay, so then the second part of this is to make that other effect only happen on hit. So that's gonna be making this a hit spark. And I don't remember, it's been a while since I made a hit spark, so I don't remember if I have to make a pool now. I think I do. But that's okay. We can absolutely make a new spawn pool. In fact, actually it already has one, so that's good. We'll cut that part of it out. Okay, so we're looking at counter. What's that called? Yeah, I called it Kakko. Okay. That's your song? Here. Bump it up a little. Pool's closed. Dude, object pooling was a pain to get to work. But it's totally necessary. Okay, so this has multiple moves worth of hitboxes put together. So they got the follow up and the punch crumple and all that crap. So if we go down here, I don't care about the screen shake as much. Hit spark settings. So hit spark. This would be the custom hit spark. Oh, okay, so we have to make an actual hit spark. I'm sorry, we have to make an actual hit spark preset out of this. So under Kakko Fubatsu, create game. Oh, hit spark there. Hit spark preset settings. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to do one preset too. So Kakko, yeah, Kakko F shield hit spark. Okay, and then the pooled objects, Kakko Fubatsu shield, no position variance, and hit spark settings, use default. Oh yes, okay, I get it. Yeah, it's split up a little bit. It gets pretty layered. So you can have a hit spark, but then the hit spark setting. Oh. So hit spark setting can combine multiple hit sparks into something unique. So we do, because you can say use the default along with an additional hit spark, and I do that with the Hadokens. So here we want one custom but without the default. Actually, we might have to have the default as well because it's going to show the parry, right? Or will it? You know, I'm actually not sure if this is even going to work. Actually, really not sure if this is even going to work. But I do have a fallback if it doesn't. Because I'm not sure if the counter will process the hit spark in the same way that hits do. Well, let's see. Okay, so now we have all that. Go back to the hitbox. Kakko Fubatsu. Here. and there. Kakko, Fubatsu, Sprite. I don't know how. Yeah, you know what? This might not actually work as intended. This might be all wacky. Because what's the alignment gonna be? Yeah, it doesn't work the same way. Okay, and that's fine. That's okay. Because I've got a better idea anyway on how to do this. Now here's where the smoke and mirrors came in. I'm bringing it back around from what I was saying before. Here's the smoke and mirrors. Ryu doesn't actually go into hit stop when this occurs. It looks like he does, but he doesn't. So counter super special, this is where you expect, yeah, okay, that's where the actual parry occurs, right? And we're gonna have to make adjustment to that dust too, now that I think about it. So when he hits though, what really happens, he doesn't go into hit stop. He goes directly into this animation, and that's why there's so much time here. In the beginning, there's 40 frames of basically the same pose. It's simulated hit stop. When he changes animations on hit, he doesn't stay in hit stop when he does it. He could, but it looks a little strange. And the reason why I do that, because I could just put him in hit stop and then wait for the hit stop to expire to transition the animation. However, if he hits in the first 3 frames, he's got a different pose. See? I don't want him stuck in that pose, I want him in this pose, because that's the parry pose. If he hits it too early, it looks strange, he's in a different pose when he parries. So if he hits in the first 3 frames, when you bypass hit stop, meaning that pose will not last, and then he'll go into this animation which starts at this pose and has the simulated hit stop, and then it goes into the punch. That's the trick, that's the smoke and mirrors. And I think I do that with the I think I'd do something like with that with the Shin Shoryuken as well. I think there was a problem that I had to do that with. But that's the smoke and mirrors. It's simulated hit stop by just having a long animation hold in the front. So what that means is we can just put the effect call here and it will show up immediately as soon as that animation is called. So pulled object from preset, and we've got the Kakko Fubatsu shield, and that should be it. So if you do it here, you don't get anything. Hey, Humble Honeybee, we're putting in, I can do this right. Putting in some new effects. Boom, and there it is. Let's zoom in on that. I know the editor doesn't play at full frames per second, so it gets a little choppy to see sometimes. But there, it only happens when there's a hit now. See? Now there's 2 issues with this, or 1 issue rather. The dust here actually won't appear if you do it within those first 3 frames. Because, yeah, you see, the dust didn't show. That's because the dust is actually called after. It's called after the first part of the pose, and it only materializes at that point. So if you transition the animations from the parry to the punch before this 3rd frame, yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, yeah, this is where it's actually getting generated. So here's the trick. We're going to do more smoke and mirrors. It's 3 frames, right? We're going to put it right at the start of the animation. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it its own thing, actually. So we said dust, ring dust, or dust ring ground large, right? We're going to make another variant yet again. Yeah, we're adding a different effect to the Kakko Fubatsu. this is the newer one that we're working on, and the old one was just this. It's not very interesting. So I'm doing a whole bigger special thing. Not finished yet, but just trying to see if it looks alright. We're on the right path. Okay, so now we have to go through this process. Actually, you know what? Since we're not using this for anything else, why don't we just change the names here to Kakko F Dusk Ring. What's that? Kakko F Dusk Ring. Effect. All. Well, I guess I have the effects on them. Kakko F Dusk Ring. And we are going to have to do, because I changed this animation name here, I need to go in the animation controller. This name is actually not updated. You can add, oh, that's funny, it turned the period into a underscore. That's okay. I don't mind that. You can actually add the same animation under different names to the animation controller if you want. That's the reason that it does that. But now if we go here, oh, it doesn't actually show the rest of it. That's funny. That's funny. An underscore just kind of stops it from registering. It's very interesting. It's not going away. Okay, let's try it. No, it's still. That's funny. It kind of messed it up a little, but that's okay. As long as it plays. Well, it's only Ryu has the parry. Don't get too excited. Only Ryu's got the parry, and it's kind of a super move. Okay, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to actually drag this here under Ryu's stuff because it's gonna be specific to Ryu. At least this part of it. It doesn't even have new sprites yet, but like its size and timing is going to be specific. And like I was saying, what we're going to do here, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to copy that null. Oh, we got the extra null again. That's fine. It didn't hurt it to last that long. And this will offset it so it appears when we wanted it to appear, but while spawning it in the timeline before. So let's confirm that that works the way we expect. Yeah, well, it's alright. And it should work. Yep. I believe I saw it. Yep. Even a late activation, it'll show up. Oh, too early. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm gonna change the scenery. Make sure it works on other backgrounds. We'll go to nighttime, right? Oops, I missed it. There. Nope. I should have let him land. Look at that. You can get a lot of damage off that. Do a lot of damage off that. Look at that. It's like 65, almost 70%. It might be 70%. Look at that. Yeah, we're Marvel now. Let's see. Because it's super activation, it actually it will expire Power Max, which sounds like it's terrible, but that's just to make it fair with all the other super activations. See, Power Max goes away once you do the super. That's more of like a KOF thing. And that's fine, but it does give you the additional trick to do 2 Power Max activations. Now if you go into Power Max here and then you use it, it does not expire the Power Max. So you don't have to worry about, it's only the activation that expires the Power Max. It'll also do it to Armor Max, but Armor Max is kind of broken right now, so I can't even enter it with the character. But it's the same, you know, as it has been. And one of the cool things about Kakko Fubatsu is you can build meter after activation. And you can keep it. See, it's still stored here. You can keep it for that round. Ah, I was... I screwed that up. I was gonna do Shinsho after it. That would have cleared his clock. Oh, and I missed it. Terry's kick's so slow. I always do it way earlier than I need it when I'm testing with him. Oh. Oh, and he's done. Ooh. It's powerful. Powerful. I think it will make Ryu actually pretty valuable as an anchor, or even a mid fighter in the 3-team structure, because you just pop that shit right at the beginning. Not only do you have another EX, but you can keep that fucker all around. Oh, anyways, that was dumb. Oh well, whatever. He's dead anyway. Ryu carries his weight, yeah, right? Right? You just pop it right away, and then you're pretty good. Let's see, now there's the extension, which I messed it up. It does decent damage for a counter move, at least. You do have to spend that extra last bit of meter. Oh, I didn't. Really? I didn't get the cancel off of it. Okay, there we go. Oh. I don't think the screen flashes yet when you make the counter. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to have Ryu flash blue when it happened. I wanted Ryu to flash blue, because the parries flash blue in Third Strike when you do one. I can pull up Third Strike. Oh, let me pause this. The controllers will interfere with each other. Here we go, 30th. Doesn't run all too great on my computer with Third Strike, but hopefully the frames are stable enough that we can see it. I don't think there's any speed setting in the game, so we'll have to view it at full. And I'll record it too. So actually, let me log into XSplit on here, and I'm gonna have to put up the barrier. So just give me a second. Can't be seeing my login info. Now, where the hell is XSplit now? They got a new icon, and I can't remember for the life of me what it looks like. Yeah. Password. Come on. Are you booting? Yeah, bees in my head. Or, yeah, bees in my head. I think it was bees in my hair was the meme, but yeah. Okay, here we go. Bees in my head. Can you imagine what nightmare level fucking bullshit that's like? Bees in your actual head? God damn, can you can you imagine the buzzing and the potential stinging inside your skull? Oh, that's nightmare shit. That's nightmare shit. Yeah, I think it's bees in my hair. Just the way that she comes off with it. Okay, I'm going to training mode. Let's get a... Oh, let's do this one. The blue will pop out really good. You should be able to see it on the stage. You're not too late. Not too late. We're still here. Okay, so I think I can set him to parry everything, right? Yeah, parry on, random on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now see how Ryu flashes when he does it? See how he flashes kind of blue? We need to do something like that. I should have picked Chun. Right? Well, let's pick Chun. Get out of here, Facebook Messenger. I've got no time for you now. Change character. Yeah, we're studying what's going on here in 3. Yeah, it's 2. 2's the one. I know it's not... I should... You know what? Hold on. I know I screwed it up, right? Oh shit, no, I don't want Alex. Oh, you can't go back now. Alright. Change character. Hold on. How do I get Grey Chun? I never used Grey Chun. Was it like medium kick? I don't know, we'll try it, whatever. If it's wrong, it's wrong. How we get White Ken? The medium punch? That's probably wrong. I think I picked... Yeah, I probably picked the wrong one. I probably picked like purple Ken or something. Blue Ken. Hey, I got Chun right! Can you flash just the blacks to blue on Ryu and Pocket Fighter EX, the outlines? should be able to. I'll have to make a custom palette for that specifically. I can flash darks. So the way I've got it set up, I can swap to a different palette if I need to. I need something extremely specific. Otherwise, because the character's light and dark values change between... Oh shit, hold on. Time's gonna expire here. I can do it based on luminance. No, that's purple. Alright, whatever, it's close enough. What is... How do you get white Ken? Hold on, that's bugging me. How do you get white Ken? Alright, let's try this here. Medium kick. Heavy kick. We'll just keep trying them. Okay, it's heavy kick. It's heavy kick. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. But if he's using a dark gi, you might capture the dark gi as a part of the luminance test. So that's good for like fire palettes and stuff because you want the luminance to stay correct. You don't want it to just wildly change in one palette or another. But for this, if you want just the outline to make sure that that's always the case, you have to have a specific palette for it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's right? Didn't Justin use Grey Chun, didn't he? Or am I wrong? Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Or is there a White Chun? I forget now. Yeah, that's it, right? Boom. But you see how Ken flashes blue there? That's what we were studying here. So, actually, let me record that since you've got it open. I'm going to record locally. So we'll see how it looks there. And then we'll just do this for fun. Boom. Okay. You think it was White Chun? Yeah, it might have been. The footage is so old, it's hard to see sometimes. Okay, so let me grab the footage. Oh, here. Okay. So we can see that when an attack occurs and they parry it, so they flash this kind of blue. It's only for a few frames. That's there. So we want that kind of effect. So in Pocket Fighter EX, one of the couple ways that we can apply different coloring. Man, I haven't done one of these in a while. Like the fire effects, I tried a whole bunch of different combinations. Here's the first structure. This is a palette, a series of palettes. And we advance every 3 frames to the next palette. And, oh, this is a specific fire damage effect setting. Okay, so I did a series of palettes here. So here's how I did them. You can input a source palette, but you don't have to. And the wet dry mix, that means that the final result of all this crap, you can say only half of it gets applied, or the whole thing gets applied, or none of it, but that would be useless. Unless you wanted to do this, like, in mid-game, you could change the value. But I would say here's your spectrum of colors. And so this is the This is the lightest, and this would be the darkest when you do a spectrum on, let's see, hue source. Yeah, so it would take the hue of the spectrum, but it would take the alpha of the sprite itself. So if the pixel was transparent and shouldn't show up, then it won't pull anything here. Value, or luminance in this case. In this case, it's actually provided by the spectrum, but you can actually do it by the source. Source inverted, mix, add, modulate. I built a whole bunch of stuff in here. So this is mix. You can add color if you want, instead of just mixing it. So that's how that works. We need, I don't know if I have a, I don't have a tester for this. I think I just kind of winged it whenever I did. I wonder if I should build a quick thing for that. If I do new folder, tools, create a new scene. Jeez, I haven't done this in a while. Create a new scene, palette effects tester. I'm gonna say fighter. Palette effects tester. Wait, cancel that. I'm gonna add it. I'm not gonna subtract it. We're gonna add it. I don't want to lose what's here. So we're gonna unload this one, and now we just got this one, right? Oh, we're gonna need to copy the camera settings. Main camera, copy, paste, values, there we go. And then we'll unload this. So we want to make a new thing here. So this is fighter set. That we want a palette sprite renderer. Reuse stand. Now notice without palettes, they're just kind of monochrome here. It's a special kind of system we have. Trying to think of how this is going to work. Trying to remember how the code for this works. Sprite palette changer, sequencer. I might not have a. I might not have a built-in controller for this. Load random palette controller. I don't know what that one's for. Sprite palette shift controller. Oh no, are we out of time? Uh-oh. That's our time's up. We might not be able to fulfill this right now. You don't want to get dirty with coding at all. You could just make a single frame with a blue tint and use it universally. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have time now. I'm trying not to overdo it today because I am sick. And I'm starting to feel the wear down. You can probably tell. So maybe we'll leave this for next time. Maybe I'll build my little palette thing during the week, and then we can screw around with it next time and start playing around with the values. It'll be fun, right? start messing around with it. Yeah, I'll have to leave that as is. We'll save it. We'll come back to that after. So yeah, I guess, geez, we didn't do much but implement today. Yeah, don't scrub yourself out. Yeah. We really didn't do too much except implementation, but it's still good. Still good. I think we've got a good basis. Oh, just take it right to the face. Ooh, oh, there we go. Yeah, especially if you're in the corner. Oh! Oh! Now you're in the corner. It's powerful. Because you had that max cancel, it changes the whole game on it. That's why I changed the way that Kakko Fubatsu works. Even if you could just get the Shoryuken off of it, the fact that there's max cancels changes everything. Like, look at that. So that's why I decided to make it a super and a one-time use, because oh god, the reward is insane. And the fact is that, like, you already have alpha counters. Well, in the public build it's push block, but we changed it to alpha counters, which are broken right now. I can't show them. I can't get into the activation right now. I'm changing the way that command moves work, and they have not been brought over yet. In fact, oh, did I fix that one? You used to be able to get into oh yeah, there it is. You can get into max mode off supers now, but that's just a glitch because I'm changing how the command moves are working. The code that filters whether or not you can do it during a super is not currently functional. But yeah, the idea that you can only use it once is because the reward is insane if you have the resources. It's not very rewarding in 5. You couldn't do much with it other than, you know, like a Shoryuken or something else. Look at this. Like, it's at least half health. And I wasn't even trying. And you're gonna figure you're gonna be in the middle of a match when it happens. Boom. Oh, like he's just, that's it, he's screwed. You know? You might even dizzy him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is what it is.
We await your return, warrior.
Go for it, man!
That's just how it goes, man. So that's why I made it a one-time use. It's a little different, but I think it'll be very good. Because unlike the alpha counters, you can just unload on the guy. It's done. Hell, you can, Jesus, you can probably, yeah, you can probably set up the dungeon trap too, Jesus. Right? Hold on. Maybe if I'm closer. Hold on. Maybe if I'm closer. Oh, I didn't get it. Hold on. I definitely didn't get it that time. Oh, jeez. I'm wearing down, man. I'm dying here. Ah, he counter hit means I didn't get the combo. Wasn't real, wasn't real. Oh man, I gotta land and get this. I gotta land and get this when he's in air. See that? And that's a hard knockdown. You should be able to get it from here. Oh, man, you gotta, when you land, you gotta hit it immediately. And that's what I'm screwing up at here. Alright. There it is. That's what I need to do. I need to hit that, but after the counter. Oh, yeah, like that. Oh! And then it's kind of up to them what they want to do from there. I mean, they can take the full Denjin, the full charged Denjin, and look how much stun that does. You ever think about adding focus attacks? I did. There was a lot of mechanics to consider in the early days. And, yeah, that was something that was talked about, but I figure if... Here's the thought process. If you're gonna have focus attack, you might as well just have parry. But parry doesn't fit in the game, so neither have been added. Not as a full system-wide mechanic. Obviously, like Ryu's got this parry, but it's different. it's definitely not what you expect. You know, with the stunning effect and all. So I modeled it more after Kakko Fubatsu. The reason that parry doesn't really work so much in the game, and I know I get asked this a lot, it's because... Find the file here. Go to training mode settings. Quick recovery. Random. Recovery type random. So here's the thing. Turn off. There you go. See all the recovery options that he has? He can get up quick, he can roll left or right, or he can stand up where he is, and he can delay or get up quick. With all these defensive maneuvers, parry just isn't as viable. And you also have the dodge roll, which is an invincible move. With all these kinds of mobility options and ways to wake up, and, you know, invincible moves and good wake up options, the need for a parry decreases. So part of the reason that a parry is really good in Third Strike is the fact that you can't run and roll and do all this other stuff. You can't roll out of your wake up. Like, you can tech back, but you can't delay and then roll, and you can't roll forward and back, and all that stuff. So the reason it's good is because you don't have those options. You have to stay in place, and you have to counterattack something. Or you just block it, you know, and prevent a mix-up, or whatever it is. You know, your typical defensive behaviors. So I feel like the parry, yes, it could uniquely be useful in some situations, but also the other fact that you've got alpha counters. And alpha counters are basically, I blocked it, but I decided that I want to parry it and hurt you instead. So all that together, the fact that you've got the alpha counters and you've got the rolling, the wake-ups, and they're invincible. Those wake-up rolls are invincible. Not to grabs, but to physical attacks. If I can get him to roll toward me. Oh, jeez, and of course I missed it. But you saw it didn't hit him until he came out of the roll. So you can still block out of the roll. Oh jeez, every time I run in, he's just... But you see what I mean? The parry is more useful when you don't have much of a way to get out of the corner or get out of your situation. It's your last ditch counter attack. Yeah, see there, I couldn't kick him. So it's less useful. It's not that it's not uniquely useful. It's just the applications for it get less and less and less. It's a very high risk move. You're not defending. You're tapping forward. You know, and you could get hit by that. But with the alpha counter, you're already blocking. And then you pull off the alpha counter. Again, it's broken here. Because I'm in the middle of changing the code. But you're already blocking. And then you decide to do the alpha counter. Basically does the same thing as parrying, but it's hell of a lot safer. Because you're already blocking. You're already holding back. So... with all that combined, why would you ever want to risk pressing forward and not block something and get belted in the face with something? Like I said, technically there are uniquely useful situations where it would help, but to make it a universal mechanic just seems like I'm flooding the game with mechanics. And if it doesn't have a specific and notable use, you know, it's just kind of clutter in the design. So that's why I decided not to have the parries. And then the focus attack follows the idea of that if you're going to have a focus attack, you might as well just have a parry. You know, the parry is more versatile anyway in that regard. In fact, that it can be done in air and all that. So, yeah, hopefully that answers the question. Hello, no Blender API. I need help scripting Python code. I'm sorry, I don't do 3D stuff. I don't do Python and I don't do 3D. Actually, the only bit of Python I ever used was on one old project, just to make something to import assets into the game. Yeah, I don't know anything about Blender necessarily. I know what Blender is, but I don't use it. I'm not a 3D artist. God, I can't even say artist and referring to myself with a straight face, let alone being a 3D artist. I'll admit I can do a little bit of pixel stuff, but I don't really consider myself an artist. So, double X on that, sorry. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm gonna have to wrap it up to not make myself more sick than I already am. But good question though. Good question. I do get that periodically, especially in the Discord. Are you gonna add parry? No. Wait, what? Why not? All right, hold on. go grab a cup of tea. This is gonna be an explanation. But hey, it is what it is. So it's a valid question because I mean parries are pretty hype, but I think they just don't quite fit into the design. Mark D artist whiz. Yeah, no, not really. I'll admit that like game development is an art. So technically I'm an artist just for making games, I guess, but I don't really consider myself much an artist. Like, I know I can do some stuff. I'm not dumb enough to know that I'm not dumb enough to think that I don't do anything, but I also don't think I'm good enough to like be called an artist. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain, I don't know how to explain. There's a certain expectation when you hear, oh, they're an artist. And you think of like the greats, and then like I'm looking at myself and I'm like, no, no, that's not quite it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sure other people feel that way too, but it really just feels like, no, don't put me up there with that, please. I'm a hobbyist at best. But it is what it is. So can't help what other people call you, right? So, alright, that's pretty much it. I don't know if I'll work on any of this effect stuff during the week. I want to try to get more technical coding stuff done, because I feel like I'm lagging behind there during the week, and then we'll do the artsy fartsy stuff on Monday. So I probably won't touch any of this until we come back on Monday. So that gives you also an opportunity to see the full process of making this effect work. And God knows I'm gonna probably need some chat assistance on whether or not this thing's looking good. So, is there gonna be any AI in the game? Yeah. We'll have it. We'll have the full set of features. We're gonna have an arcade mode. We're gonna have CPU components. Opponents. Oh my God. See, this is why I need to go. Yeah, we'll have the whole basic set. You're gonna have the training mode. You're gonna have the versus mode with 2 players. Versus mode with the AI. You'll have an arcade mode. You know, just get a series of fights. Get a boss. You know, all the basics, all the essentials, I suppose you could say. And then we'll have the online, and that'll be the version 1.0. When all those features are in there, that'll be version 1.0. I have the 8 characters, the secret one, the boss of arcade mode itself, the AI opponents in versus mode, local multiplayer, and then network multiplayer. What about mini mode? maybe we'll throw a couple goofy things in there somewhere, but I won't necessarily put that on the target for the 1.0 release. That'll be an extra if I feel it can work and won't be a insurmountable pile of work on top. It'd be funny though. It'd be kind of a shame not to use the scaling code, the fighter size code, now that we have it in there. That'd be really funny. Kind of reminds me of like Big Head mode from GoldenEye and on the N64. I think Perfect Dark had it too. Like they had a lot of cool stuff in there, like paintball mode, all these like little cheats that you could add, and I don't know if some of them could be used in multiplayer. I think like the DK head mode, which made all their heads big. They call it DK mode because obviously it was made by Rare, and Rare worked on Country. But I think when Perfect Dark came out, I think they just called it Big Head mode. But yeah, you know what I mean. It would be a shame not to use it, right? I don't know. We could do something like Smash where there's like normal versus and there's special versus, and special versus has all these like crazy things that you can do. At least the older ones had that. I think Ultimate still has that. We had like the size changes. Like the HP mode, I guess, was one of the modes. So yeah, Ultimate's gotta have that. Yeah, it would be fun. Special versus. Now getting that to also run online is a whole other thing. that's a whole extra set of work. yeah, I was gonna say I'm getting out of here anyway. So yeah, have a good one, man. We'll see you guys later. So yeah, let's see. What's our schedule? Amber's gonna be playing tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's gonna continue Super Mario RPG. In my opinion, the best of the Mario RPGs, followed closely by Superstar Saga. But enough getting the internet riled up and against me. Thursday, we're gonna play Mega Man 02, and I got Tim set me up with the arranged music mod for the game. Whoa! It's nice. It's good. It's really good. Oh, it's nice. So that's gonna be pretty great. 02 had probably the best soundtrack. The arranged soundtrack, at least, out of all of them. So that's chef's kiss. That's gonna be a good one. That's also at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, provided I'm not too sick to do it, but I think I'll be okay. I'm going to make sure that I just rest and do nothing the next couple days. I should be able to spring back. I'll be all set. So that'll be fun. Thanks to Tim for helping out with that. Is pretty much it. So we've got a Patreon. Now you too can become a patron. The GameDevScrubs not podcast. Jeez, I guess it's an internet show. What is this? Is this internet TV? It's internet TV, right? Then you can get code samples. You can get early prototype builds of the projects that I work on, especially this one that we worked on today. So if you want to, I'm going to have to upload this. So if you want to see the effect in action on your own, you can check that out. And we got patron names to read off of our supporters. So super special thanks to Alex Smith, aka Zombie Killer. Got Miguel Tabasco. Also thanks to Omega Keo, Charles E. Baldwin, Wakened Emperor, Angel, Rui Luis, Uncle Roy, Mike Cruz, Taryn Williams, Corporal Chungus, Bryce Nagoingum, AJ, Miles Griffin, Ben K, D-Money107, and LD Walker. So thank you guys super extra much. You guys go grab your build. I'll have it out in a couple days. Like I said, I'm going to take the next couple days off, so it might be looking like a Thursday or Friday upload at this point. So that's pretty much it, unless I'm dumb and decide that I don't want to rest. then it might be up earlier, who knows. But anyway, thanks very much for hanging out. Catch me on Twitter at MarkDWiz. You can check our Discord link down below. And YouTube, unless you're already watching on YouTube, in case hello from the future past. And that's pretty much it. So I'm getting out of here. I need some sleep and some rest. So thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll see you guys later, and scrub out.